exciting the weekend. Still, I think it made the pussycat quite happy to be snuggled next to a warm radiator. Anyway, I wasn't quite sure about today's video because we've moved once again into that rather nasty place with loads of snapping, dangerous traps all over the place, whereby one isn't allowed to say certain things. Toby Young, please take note, because since the Jeremy Corbyn anti-Semitism rows, we now very much have a media landscape whereby any criticism of Israel is inherently anti-Semitic. The IHRA definition being adopted pretty much across the board basically means that any criticism is seen as anti-Jewish by definition, and it's one of the very odd spaces that Israel occupies, in the sense that it is both a state and a representation of a group of people. So, I'm not going to say various things I was going to say. Moving on from that, because this will become intriguing, I think, when we realise that British citizens are out in Israel having been killed or will be killed in the future. And one might say, British Israeli citizens, okay, why were they there? Leave that one hanging. Anyway, right, yeah, various of our favourite commentators at the weekend were suggesting that Stout, Yeoman and good Patriots should get out on the streets and organise a demo in support of Israeli action, I suppose. And at least part of this is the idea that it'll make the Jewish community in London feel safer. I'm not entirely convinced about that. The last time such actions came to pass, we ended up with a large group of people who certainly didn't make the capital feel any safer, although they did, make a very good attempt at keeping it clean. Yes, and of course the inherent problem with this is that if you just take a cursory look at anti-Semitic attacks, they do just tend to come from one aspect of the political continuum. And, most of the attacks against the Jewish community, say, in about the last 5 years or decade, have been people daubing things in terms of graffiti on things like Jewish cemeteries. They don't leave Islamic or Palestinian markings. They leave fascist ones. They leave Nazi ones, the swastika being the classic one. Now, you can argue what you like about how dangerous it is for the Jewish community at the moment in the UK, and I don't want to downplay that. But people that plot to attack synagogues, certainly in the UK, and pretty much around the world, don't tend to be Muslim, because they tend to be the people that might be arguing about being replaced by others. And that's a very interesting discussion which it would be nice to have on a rational basis. But of course, our binary media won't allow us to do that. Anyway, do try and have a good week. Stay warm.